In the following video, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a form off of a PDF file that someone has sent me. And in addition, I'm going to show some of the limitations of that approach. But to begin with, I'm going to show this form that comes with GraphPad. And in text mode, I'm going to go to Settings, and I'm going to turn the field names on. And this is important because these field names are the names of the fields that integrate with the mapping system. And so, for example, if we bring up an appointment, and you can put these in manually before you go to a job site, and then go to a form and go to, for example, that drawing worksheet. We'll see that the data has been pre-populated. Now this is kind of confusing to get the field names on, but we can see that all the fields that were in that appointment are now displayed for us. So the easiest way to get those field names that they need to correspond to is to just go to this form and turn settings, and then turn the field names on. So if we go to the mail that he sent me, right? Done on this. So this is the PDF he sent me. And if you press on it, you'll see this share button. And if you go to share, you'll see the list of icons. Now I want to copy this to the newest version of GraphPad, which I'm working with. And so what will happen is it will import that PDF file for you to work with. And so we're going to zoom in. And at this point, what we can do is we can just use this PDF as the background and start laying out text fields. Okay, so we'll lay out this first field, and we don't want any default text in there. So we're just going to lay out a couple to show how this all works. And we'll put in, for example, customer name, and lastly, address. Okay. And now if we look over here, we see we have these text boxes. Now these check boxes, these are a little more difficult. We'll show how we do that in a minute. We have check boxes, and then we also have this signature field. Okay, so we've laid these out, and obviously you'd spend more time doing this. And now we can select these, and we'll select these first couple. And if we go into text mode, and for example, just select one of these fields, we can go to the properties, and now we can actually, for example, set the property name. So this is what, if you integrated, what it would be saved as, that field name. It's important to hit return. And then if we put in the default value, and this is one of the things which is not in the current version. Whoops. All right, so let's try that again. Username. Very important to hit the return character. So that's how we actually get it to pull the name out of our properties, this username here. So whoever's running the iPad, that's how that name gets in there. Let's go to points mode again, and we will select more of these fields. We'll do a couple more real quick. This is going to be our work order, properties. Hit return. Let's turn the settings, let's turn the field names on so we can be sure we can actually see those. So we see the work order there. And now if we select this one field, properties, and we'll change that to, notice I lost that. So customer name. Very important to have the same capitalization as well. Hit return. You can see that field there. Apparently we had two there, so actually we can turn this off. Let's move this over. And grab that field again. Grab this field, and then we're going to change that properties. Sorry, wrong properties. Properties, and change that to return. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, we go down here, we look at these check boxes. Again, we'll select these. Okay, so look at these check boxes. Go to text mode, change the properties. This is a property 3. That makes those check boxes. This one is a property 7, which is a signature field. And what I messed up is I was supposed to change these to regular fields as well. So let's grab those. And again, text mode, properties, and that's a property, that's a type 2. And this is in the user's guide, but okay. So another thing that we can do is we can position the form exactly the way we want it to open up. And I'm going to change this so it scrolls only vertically. Page settings, so only vertical scrolling. And now save this. Now obviously this is still very crude, but we're going to save this template. And I'm just going to call this R1. Make it simple. Okay. So in settings, let's turn the field names off. And now if we go to an appointment, we have to bring up the appointment first. So bring up the appointment, and now we bring up our form R1. So the consultant can get processed. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. There's probably a typo. But we can actually see that the information from the appointment goes in. We see the limitation, these checkboxes. We can turn those on and off. Sorry, I have to be in text mode. Turn those on and off. But they're kind of crude. So we'd probably either want to change the form or do something to make it easier for people to work with. And then we have our signature field. So that is a crude example of how we would do this. Obviously, we'd spend more time on it. And then this as a PDF, we have to redraw this. So it is going to slow down your drawing engine a little bit. Another thing I could do is break these into smaller images and just add those images to a form. That would speed up the drawing a little bit as well. And that's my presentation. It shows how easy it is to create a form off of a PDF and then use GraphPad both to sign documents as well as to create your proposals. And that is my presentation. Thanks.